For us, it's a daily thing.
It's every day, right?
This is Mammoth Daily
We're going to take you inside the locker room
with Mike Fulta.
We want this show to be about the fans, and we want this show to be driven by our Utah Mammoth community.
And Adrian Denny.
Fans can submit what they want to hear us talk about, what they want to hear Utah weigh in on. It's all going to be here.
Here's Mike and AD with you.
Utahns, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Right here on Mammoth Daily.
Good Wednesday to you. Adrian Denny with you on another back-to-back for the Mammoth. They'll play game 2 of a 4-game road trip tonight from Toronto. 5 o'clock face-off. We'll have the action for you at 4 with Hockey Night in Utah on the KSL Sports app. On the KSL Sports app tonight, if you have an HD radio, 102.7 HD2. So that's where you can find Mike and I on the radio coming up tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'd love you to like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating on Apple, Spotify, check us out on YouTube, and follow us. Make sure you don't miss an episode like today, where we've got Mikhail Sergachev coming up in the Odd Man Rush. We'll get to Mike's Morning After coming up, all about last night's 2-1 win in overtime in Buffalo. But I want to start with Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz. You know, you talk about this team growing from year to year, and Dylan Gunther and Logan Cooley and Barrett Hayton and Jack McBain and the young stars. And last year you added Mikhail Sergachev, and this year you get Brandon Tanev and JJ Peterka and Nate Schmidt and just all sorts of additions. But do we talk enough about the two guys who have been with Bill Armstrong for all of this progression that has happened for this team to be 9-4 and within a handful of points for first place in the Central Division? Do we talk about these guys enough and how they improve year to year? Nick Schmaltz is in his 10th NHL season. Clayton Keller's in his 9th NHL season. You know, we know Gunther and Cooley. We know what their potential is. And you add pieces and you know it makes the team better. But Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz are getting better every day, every year too. And these guys have been the culture setters for this group. And this year, they have taken it to just a whole other level. Nick Schmaltz, 18 points in 13 games, 8 goals, 10 assists, broke the ice on Tuesday, got the scoring started, made it 1-0. It's a guy that's played in 601 NHL games. He's played in 4 career playoff games, and it came in Chicago early on before he got traded to Arizona. He's going to turn 30, as we'll hear from his brother Jordan Schmaltz coming up Friday in our Friday free-for-all, and he's a great guy. Can't wait for that, but just think we need to take some time here and give some kudos to guys like Nick Schmaltz and Clayton Keller. Like, listen to this consistency from Schmaltz. Last 4 years, 59 points, 58 points, 61 points, 63 points, 23 goals, 22 goals, 22 goals, 20 goals. And yet this year he comes out with Clayton Keller and they take it to a different level. And this team's off to a great start, and they're led by those two guys. Clayton Keller, in his 9th season, he's played in 614 NHL games. He's played in 9 playoff games. They all took place in the bubble in Edmonton during the summer of 2020. And this is a guy that's in his 2nd year as a captain. And Andre Tourigny talks about he's striving to get better every single day, but he goes out and he does it. Bear said Clayton Keller drags this team into the fight, and he did that again on Tuesday. They came in on a 2-game losing streak, and Ian Cole told us after the game on Sunday, like, we got to stop this right here. It can't become 3, 4, 5, because that's how you end up out of a playoff position. And these games matter. We've said 70 to 75% of the teams that make the playoffs are in that playoff spot in late November, around Thanksgiving time. And so you get your captain, Clayton Keller, to go out there, factor in on both goals after the longest scoring drought he's had since 2021, 4 straight games without a point, and get there for his fourth multiple point game of the season, winning the game in the first minute of overtime. He's up to 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points in 30 games. Last 3 years, since he came back from just an ugly, scary injury late during the 21-22 season, and set the tone the next day walking back into the team's facility. It was an ugly lower body injury, and he worked his way back and got back, was there for the next season. 86 points in 82 games, 76 points in 82 games, 90 points last year, career high. 37, 33, and 30 are his goal totals the last 3 years since coming back from that injury. But 9th NHL season, he's a captain. He's still getting better. He's still pushing himself. And what a great start. We talked about it all summer, right? Talked about it all training camp. Playoffs. That's the expectation for this team. And the two guys who were the first to come out and say, that's the expectation. That's what we want. They've come out and look what they've done. The team's off to this start where they've won 8 out of the last 10 on a road-heavy schedule. They've played 7 of 12 on the road. It's going to be 10 of 15 on the road when we're done with this trip. They've got their longest road trip of the year coming up right after Thanksgiving. And it just was thinking, coming home from the game on Tuesday night, I don't think we talk enough about Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz and the way they've built this culture, the way that they've gotten better every single year, the way that their play helps the team win games, the way they set examples, drag the team into the fight, and go about their everyday business. So stick taps to those guys. It's pretty impressive what you're getting, and they've been part of the entire build. And the way in your 10th NHL season for Schmaltz, your 9th NHL season for Keller, just to keep getting better, to keep adding production, adding wins, and what they've been through, right? They could be point game guys easy on losing teams forever. 9 playoff games for Keller in the playoff bubble in Edmonton, 4 playoff games for Schmaltz. But these guys are hungry. They want to win, and they take matters into their own hands when it's necessary. And for Utah to win that game 2-1 on Tuesday night, not the game I expected. I told you, look for a big night from your top 2 lines. And we got it from Keller, Schmaltz, and Hayton, as that top line out-attempted Buffalo 17-6, outshot them 11-2, and factored in on both goals. So I said your stars would have a big night. I thought it'd be a game where you score more goals, because you put up a couple 5-2 wins against Buffalo last year. And Alex Lyon is a goalie that Utah got some goals against last year when he was with Detroit. And it wasn't for a lack of coming out and generating offense. Utah outshot Buffalo 27-10 in the final 2 periods, didn't take a penalty. And, we've talked about this team's composure and maturity and responding to adversity. Okay. Let's take that into Tuesday's game. They didn't fall behind. They didn't take a lead and give it up. Well, they did, but it was a different kind of adversity that took a different kind of patience. They're dominating the hockey game, and Buffalo blocked over 20 shots. Alex Lyon made some big saves. Hadn't seen him do that this year. He'd allowed 3 goals or more in all 9 of his starts this year. Buffalo had allowed 3 or more in 10 of 12. But Buffalo, as we told you, they're not your big brothers, Buffalo Sabres, that have missed the playoffs 14 straight years. But maybe remind you a little bit of Utah last year. Started 0-3. Since then, they're 5-1-4. 5 straight games have gone past regulation. They've lost 4 of them. So they played a good game. I think Josh Doan and Michael Kesselring, as smart as they are, maybe helped Lindy Ruff with that game plan, knowing the ins and outs of Utah. And they sold out, and they were able to control Utah from getting more than 2 goals. And the second one came in overtime. But for Utah to just continue to stick with it, outshooting Buffalo 27-10 in the final 40 minutes and having 1 goal in regulation to show for it. They just kept going. They didn't get rattled. They didn't try and rush anything. They didn't try and take any shortcuts. They just stuck with it. We'll hear from head coach Andre Turney coming up. We'll hear from Karel Vejmelka. We hear from Captain Clayton Keller. Right now, let's get to Mike's Morning After. Mike Folta, our radio play-by-play voice right here on Hockey Night in Utah, bringing you all the action and bringing you this recap of the game on Tuesday night.
Welcome to Mike's Morning After, a 2-1 overtime win for the Utah Mammoth, and big 2 points to start the road trip. Talked about it on the broadcast, but the importance of starting the road trip off with 2 points and setting the tone. Utah was loosey-goosey in that first period. It's kind of the game that we saw from Buffalo a lot last year, where it's up and down, run and gun. They give up a lot of chances, but they create a lot of chances. Utah had some miscommunications, and we talked to guys in the walk-off interviews on the radio side, and they were not happy with the first period. They were not happy even with the second period and not capitalizing on their chances, but giving Buffalo too much. I think starting in the second and then into the third, Utah started to take over, and Utah's captain's line started to take over. You saw Barrett Hayden and Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz start to control play in the offensive zone, and it was obviously Schmaltz that got the first goal to put Utah in front, and then Keller just taking the game into his own hands. Isn't that what a captain does? Isn't that what you want out of your leader? The guy who wants the puck on his stick, the game on his stick, to skate in and make an unbelievable individual play. It wasn't Utah's best tonight, but it was still pretty darn good. Alex Lyon was really good in net for Buffalo, probably the best player on the ice. I think the biggest thing that I'm left wanting more of is the kid line. And the kid line was disconnected, got frustrated a little bit tonight. And I think if they play a more patient game where they're letting the game come to them, they're being more responsible instead of trying to force a lot of these fancy skill plays, I think that's going to bode really well for that line and for Utah, because they have so much speed and skill. Those guys are going to get their opportunities and going to get offensive chances throughout a game just based on how talented they are. They don't need to try and create a goal every single play. Just make the right play, make the simple play, and those scoring opportunities will come. That's my view on it. It was fun getting to talk to Kesselring and Doan before the game. Got to do that down near the dressing room, and it was like old times, laughing with those guys, and you could tell from talking with other people around Buffalo that got those types of characters are exactly what the Sabres needed. Guys that will be responsible but keep the room light, that are committed to playing a team game, but that are also going to have fun and be great personalities in the room. So they both played pretty well, I thought, tonight. Utah the better team from really I think the halfway point on, and now it's on to Toronto Wednesday night, and a Leafs team that surely has more talent than Buffalo does, at least high end talent with guys like Matthews and Nylander, but a quality win for Utah here this evening. I thought it was interesting how some calls didn't go Utah's way in that third period. I really thought there was a delay of game call that they missed. I talked to Dom Moore. He was looking at the replay a little bit closer than I was, and he was saying the puck just went into the bench. It really wasn't a call that was close to being a delay of game penalty, even though the players on the ice for Utah certainly thought it was. But some clarification on what we thought was a high stick. The puck, it's a little hard to explain, but when the puck is when the puck's over the crossbar and you deflect it in over the crossbar and into the net, that's disallowed. We know that. But when it comes to when a player touches it after the high stick, then the line of demarcation moves from the crossbar to the shoulder. So if you touch the puck at like chest level, another player is allowed to touch that and then score the puck. And that's what happened. The puck was above the crossbar, but below the shoulders of Isaac Rosen when he touched it. And then Oslin was the one who knocked it in, his first NHL goal, and yada, yada. But that's the explanation for that. It could have been challengeable. Utah could have challenged for a missed stoppage, but again, it wasn't over the shoulders, so Utah would have been shorthanded. I would have loved to see the Utah power play a few more times in this game. Utah's power play, I thought, was flying around the 2 times they were out there. That was really encouraging. I guess the penalty kill has been really good for Buffalo this season. But a 2-1 overtime win. Utah finds a way, even when pucks don't seem to be going in. It's a character win for Utah. Seems like we get a lot of these. But you got to love it from the Mountain Blue. So we'll see everybody tonight in Toronto. And hopefully the Mountain Blue can make it 2 in a row here.
Yeah, talking about that second line of Gunther, Cooley, Peterka. Yeah, no points. And did they maybe get frustrated? Maybe. They out-attempted Buffalo 14-9 and were only outshot 6-5. So on a game that might have been an off night for them, it was above average to even. Lawson Krause, Jack McBain, Michael Carcone out-attempted Buffalo 13-3, outshot him 4-1. Michael Carcone had 4 hits in that game. Jack McBain won all 7 faceoffs. As we get to head coach Andre Tourigny after this one, kind of setting the tone for what Bear is going to tell us, and that was that this was a complete team effort for the Mammoth.
Didn't give a shot, but as well, we were playing with the puck, and we're not taking risks. We were reloading. We're doing all the right thing. Honestly, we were really the focus, the intensity mentally was second to none. Hell of a game from everybody. Our 4 lines, our 60, our goalie were really good. I think there's a lot of stuff we were talking about lately. Our gap, how we're reloading, our poise with the puck, our battle down low, our possession in the zone, making good plays, going at the net. Really proud of the way the boys played.
And finding a way to get that first one. John Marino carrying it in, skipped it around a man, Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, 12th time this year. Keller and Schmaltz have factored in on the same goal. That was Josh Stone's scouting report, along with Michael Kesselring on Utah's top line. Keller's always looking for Schmaltz. Schmaltz is always looking for Keller. And let's hear from the captain after the game on Tuesday night.
I think timely saves by Veg. I thought Karks was really good tonight. He's got a lot of speed and he's very effective when he uses it. Teams back off. I think, everyone had an impact tonight. Ultimately that's why we got the win. Yeah, we just kept going no matter what. Their goalie played awesome tonight and, I think that's the biggest thing is, when you're getting chances, you got to stay positive no matter how, pissed off you are. And it's very hard to do, but, I think that's the maturity in our team and, everyone as an individual has, gotten so much better at.
Everything that this group has said, they've gone out and done it. Said playoffs, they're 9-4. Talked about composure and maturity and staying with it. And Tuesday night was a different kind of adversity. Clayton Keller mentioned Karel Vejmelka only saw 18 shots on Tuesday night, but stopped 17 of them. 5th time in 10 starts, he allows 2 goals or less. As those of you on YouTube take a look at a big first period stop from Karel Vejmelka, who's now 7-3 on the season. Clayton Keller talking about everybody being involved. How about the defenseman? You're without what I think is your second best offensive threat as a D-man in Sean Durzi. We haven't seen him. We have not seen him in Utah at 100%. But he's smooth. He's nimble. He's going to be back soon, right? What was our timeline? 4 to 6 weeks. How long ago was that? 2 to 3 weeks. So Sean Durzi's going to be back and he's going to be a force. And I'm excited to see it. But Utah's D has contributed to 5 straight Utah goals, setting things up. And it was John Marino on the first one. It was Mikhail Sergachev on the second one, which we'll get to in a minute. And Ian Cole had 2 assists on Sunday. So without Sean Durzi, I think your second best offensive threat, John Marino, Ian Cole, Mikhail Sergachev, of course. Those guys have really been impactful. Let's get to that second Utah goal. And there was some great communication before Clayton Keller did that 360 spin, walked to the net, and got it to go. Right before that puck came up ice, Karel Vejmelka made a big save on Alex Tuck, and his instinct said, freeze it, get the whistle, and Mikhail Sergachev is screaming, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Keller's screaming, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Veggie, maybe in a normal situation you get a whistle, but the ref had the instincts there, let the play go, and Veggie got it to Sergey, who got it to Keller, game-winning goal. But how about that communication from Utah on that play here? And Karel Vejmelka talked about it after the game on Tuesday.
Obviously, they had a scoring chance from the slot, and I just, I thought I gonna freeze it, but they asked for that, so it was quick play. It was a no-brainer for me. So it was good communication from them for sure.
Great communication, great win for the Mammoth. Starting this trip out, they need one win in 3 games for a split, which to me is let's go, let's take it, let's get back home and face that pesky Buffalo team again. Toronto tonight. Montreal Saturday, Ottawa Sunday, all 3 playoff teams from last year. But again, as you get towards the end of these trips, it really catches up to you in terms of just the body. So again, keep that in mind. And heck, if they go out and get 3 or 4 again, we'll take it, won't we? Adrian Teddy with you here on Mammoth Daily. Coming up, we will get to Mikhail Sergachev, and our odd man rush joins me and Mike for that. We caught up to him right before Halloween. We talked about Halloween with the Sergies, candy, costumes, got an update on the family farm, and talked a lot of hockey too, including about Dmitry Simashev. So a fun odd man rush coming up with Mikhail Sergachev. And then in our third period, we will preview tonight's game with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So stay close with us, folks. We're having a ball. We're 9-4. And we're doing it again on a Wednesday edition of Mammoth Daily.
It's time for your Wednesday Odd Man Rush.
All right, we're here on our Odd Man Rush with Mikhail Sergachev. And Sergey, first of all, what do you got here?
Mixed berry protein shake.
We like asking the guys when they come out what they have because everybody seems to have their own concoction. I mean, you're going to have...
I'm not like that. It's usually Kales, Cooley, the big dogs. Yeah.
Sergey just goes in and says, hi, I'll have the number 1.
Take whatever.
We saw an excellent Halloween costume from not just you, but your whole family as well. You had the boots, the cigar, it looked like the cowboy hat. Whose idea was that?
Well, it was my wife's. We were thinking what to do this Halloween party, and she came up with the idea, because Bugie disrespected my chickens, so we kind of played into that, and she ordered the t-shirt and the boots I had from Nashville trip when we played the outdoor game hat I had. So it was easy.
It's a great look.
What's your favorite kind of candy? Speaking of Halloween,
I don't know, like gummy bears probably. Yeah, that's
little Dio. I mean, he's still a little guy, right? Not sure what's going on. Is he gonna trick or treat this year?
Oh yeah, he did it last year. Yeah. Our street, they're closing it down because our street is, I guess, best decorated or something. People actually work on that. And I guess they're going to have police escort. They're going to close the streets, and he's going to be out there.
That's fantastic.
All that. So you've got chickens. Tell us just give us a reset of the backyard and the animals that you have.
It's all the same. It's 16 chickens, 2 rabbits, cat. That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Easy.
And is the cat in charge? Like, cause
she's in charge of the house. Yeah. She's, she owns everything, obviously.
Well, we're recording this here 11 games into the season. You guys just get back from the road trip. Is it nice to have this kind of couple-day break here? I know the schedule's been really condensed so far.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's time to reset. Obviously, we didn't finish the way we wanted on the road. Wanted to win, but now it's kind of time to cool down, work on our craft, work on our breakouts, work on our forecheck, and just get dialed in.
Coming back for season number 2, last year you came from Tampa Bay here, and being in this locker room year number 2, have you seen this group grow as a group, as you guys now together for 2 seasons?
Yeah, the chemistry is there, and I think the additions that were made this summer, Turbo, Schmitty, V, they're great. Did I miss anyone? No? JJ, yeah, obviously. Yeah, big one. Those are great. A lot of character, a lot of funny guys, and just makes everything a lot better.
When you think about where you guys were last year at this time, especially on the back end, really banged up compared to this year where it seems like it's one of the strengths of the team, what stands out to you the most in the change year over year?
I don't know. It's just been 11 games. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the consistency of players, it's not like one guy plays 2 good games, 1 bad game. It's kind of everyone is, on an even, I don't know how to say it, line, and everybody's playing the way they're supposed to be playing. And it's great, seeing that consistency. And that plays into our team game too, which we want to be consistent at. So I think that's what stands out the most.
What have you enjoyed about playing with Dmitry Sergachev for the last several games, last couple weeks here?
I don't know. He's fast, he's mobile, he battles hard, and sometimes I can tell him, hey, go battle in my corner, and I stay in the middle and break out. I go join the rush, So that's what I enjoy the most. Yeah.
Have you been asked more questions about Dmitry or about yourself this year? I know everybody's super excited about him.
I'm used to it. Played in Tampa, they would always ask me about Kuch and Vasi. And now everybody's asking me about Sima. It's all right.
You kicked him out, right?
No, I did not. He kicked himself out. He, he wants to be on his own. He's all grown up, and so good for him.
We were watching him early in camp and preseason. We were thinking, okay, is he going to make the team? And then obviously he did. I was from the outside, and then
we know nothing about hockey. Clearly,
are clueless.
Yeah.
And he's been so impressive. How have you seen him? What are the biggest areas you've seen him grow? Yes.
I think he's more comfortable with the puck.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Without the puck, he was always comfortable. He knew his spots, and he knew how to defend. But now, actually getting the puck, shooting the puck, moving, he's way more comfortable.
Have you felt the connectivity of the forward lines offensively for you, especially in the last 5-6 games, being able to get some shots in, pile up some points with the help of the forwards, kind of?
Sure. No, it feels like our forwards starting to use us a little more.
Yeah.
Because the teams, they obviously pre-scout. They know, our guys target the middle a lot and try to shoot from the slot. But most of the time it's not there. And they start covering. They start bringing their wingers low. Who's open? Sergey up top. Give me the puck,
Yeah.
No, but it actually is nice because, you spread them out and then something opens up in the middle and you just have more points of attack, and more points of penetration, I'd say. So it's, yeah.
You guys have defended the rush really well to start the year. Was that an adjustment that you guys made in the off season to maybe tweak some things at all in that regard?
I don't remember talking about it much. I think somebody made a point about it, but we always want to be defending rush well, But it's now, I feel like our back check improved. So our forwards improved, back checking and taking the right guys. So it's we're still working on that, and goal in Edmonton when Ekholm scored, we lost the back check completely, and we duplicated on one guy. So it's a work in progress. It can never be 100%, but it's more consistent this year.
Did you feel anything click on the power play, right? Because at the beginning of the season, everything's starting over, even when you guys have been together for years, and then you get that one against San Jose, and it seems like the power play has really been going.
I think we simplified it a lot more when it wasn't going, and then we started shooting the puck a lot, bringing it to the net. Cools sometimes just takes it to the net and attacks it. Gunner's obviously shooting, but it all starts with Kels, I think, because he's the brains of our power play, and when he's attacking, everybody's got that mindset. So even me, like on the goal in Winnipeg, I see the opening, I take it. Instead, like maybe in the first couple of games of the season, maybe I would have taken it back, give it to Gunner for a shot. Instead of that, now we attack.
Mikhail, we don't want to keep you from your Halloween candy and trick-or-treating here. We thank you for the time, and we'll see you on Sunday here.
Thanks, Bills.
Thanks a lot, Sergey.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
This is Mammoth Daily.
Great stuff there with Mikhail Sergachev. Next week, JJ Peterka joins us in the Odd Man Rush. Also, don't forget to join us tomorrow. We'll have Dominic Moore, our Thursday expert. Part 3 of our 4-part series with Dom, who played all those years in the NHL, went to Harvard. He's so smart. He's our color analyst on television. We've got a series with him that's ongoing. Let's talk special teams tomorrow with Dom on our Thursday expert. Looking forward to it as always, and we'll start things off by recapping the game in Toronto. That'll take place tonight. All right, Toronto Maple Leafs. That's who we're playing. Played them last year in Toronto. It was a game after Utah had won the night before 6-1 in Pittsburgh. It was a back-to-back. It was a Sunday afternoon. You remember the team had to get off the bus and walk to the arena because they got caught in a Christmas parade in downtown Toronto and couldn't get there to the arena. So those are the memories there. They lost 3-2. Maple Leafs beat Utah in overtime at Delta Center on March 10th. Leafs started the year 3-4-1. They've since won 4 of 5, so they're 7-5-1 on the year. But again, you know us and our context. They're without 102 points from last year, and Mitch Marner doesn't mean that they're lacking offensive productivity whatsoever. But Mitch Marner was a force in that locker room. So they got off to a bit of a slow start. They've won 4 of 5. And the wins have come against Buffalo in overtime, Calgary, who's struggled, Pittsburgh, are they coming back to earth, and Philadelphia, who's in that last place / wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. That's how competitive that is. Again, Leafs without Mitch Marner, so they lose him, goes to Vegas in the sign and trade, but don't think that they're short whatsoever when it comes to offense. William Nylander has 18 points in 10 games. Matty Nyes has 16 points in 13 games. John Tavares, 16 points in 13 games. Austin Matthews, 11 points in 13 games. Morgan Riley, 9 points in 12 games. Matthias Michelli, our old friend, has 5 points in 12 games. But just missing that presence of Mitch Marner, and the Leafs look their usual, though their wins have not come against the best. They were last in action Monday night, that 4-3 win against Pittsburgh. So that's what we got for you coming up tonight. Again, you got that first one. So to get one more out of 3, you split. You're home at 10-6. I'll take it. Would love more, but I'll take one out of our next 3. I just think we're going to see this team really feel the effects of playing 11 of their first 16 on the road against the competition they're playing. But this team has matched the competition every single night that they played. Weren't thrilled with Tampa Bay. I thought Tampa Bay did a good job. End of a trip in Edmonton again. You could kind of feel it. It's kind of awkward, that Tampa Bay game after 4 days off, and Tampa was rolling. But yeah, it's all up for grabs. So Utah going to look to take it coming up tonight. Tomorrow, recapping this one, another Mike's Morning After. Dominic Moore, our Thursday expert. And then Friday, the free-for-all, Jordan Schmaltz, Nick's big brother, and he's a fun one. Social media influencer, broadcaster, former pro hockey player. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Talk to you tonight, and we'll talk to you coming up Thursday and Friday right here on Mammoth Daily.